What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we have another Game of Thrones card game regional beginning on the channel, brought to you by these awesome people that support the channel at patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. You can donate by clicking the link in the description below. Thank you so much for the support. In this one we have Francis playing Stark Wars to Come against Michael playing Tyrell Wars to Come. Francis on the left there, Michael on the right. And we are at BD Cosmos in Montreal, Quebec, Canada for the 2018 regional. The 6th annual regional there. So for setup we have Summer on the left. We got Arya with a bodyguard and a Great Hall. On the other side we have a duped Hightower and a Redwind Straits for a limited, and looks like we have a left who is looking right. So good start for the Tyrell player, considering he's got Hightower out there with a dupe on it. I don't know if that really matters much against Stark, having the dupe, but I mean, 4-card setup and having your Hightower out there with some economy and Redwind Straits is pretty ballin'. And we start off with a Late Summer Feast. Or no, sorry, Time of Plenty on the right, and Nothing Burns Like the Cold on the left side there. So, the Hightower's gone, just like that, dupe or no dupe. So maybe the dupe was a bad thing. Yeah, now 2 copies are gone, just like that. Will he see a third? So maybe trouble for the Tyrell player, actually, right here off the start. That was a good play, playing Nothing Burns Like the Cold. And we got a Winterfell Steward and a Northern Army marshaled out on the Stark side of things. Stark player obviously going first, another Winterfell Steward. Dropping on the board after being reduced by the other Winterfell Steward. Great Hall knelt, Winterfell Steward knelt, and we have Septa Mordain. So Arya has an intrigue icon there, and I think like immune to plot effects or something like that. And I think that's it. Over to the Tyrell player for his marshalling. His Hightower engine is gone, so he's not going to be able to just play a Tyrell character and draw a card and get a gold right here. Unless he has another copy of it in hand, but wow. Yeah, duping that was a big mistake. I spoke way too early there. He did want that 4th card, which kind of makes sense, but Nothing Burns Like the Cold is a very popular plot right now, I believe. And you don't want to drop your 4-cost location out there without some protection, like an additional Flea Bottom or Isle of Ravens or something beside it, right? Or even an Old Town, maybe, in this deck. So if you didn't see it, we had the Michigan 2018 Regionals complete on the channel. Full playlist is on Rob's Gaming Table on YouTube, so you can go check that out. Finals are there, plus all the other cut and Swiss games. I think 15 games in total should be there. So yeah, go back and check those out if you haven't seen them. And this is the first game, obviously, in this series, titled Game Number 1. Should have around the same amount of matches for this one, but I did have a couple matches where one of the SD cards I was using corrupted, I guess, a couple times. I'd walk over and find the camera with an error on it at the end of the match. I don't know how much it recorded, so I'll find out when I get to those videos. But I may have lost a couple videos during the Swiss. I did switch out to a different memory card after it happened the second time. Could have been something to do with how hot the camera was charging and the heat in the store. It was hot that day. Very hot that day in Montreal. The store was pretty stuffy, pretty packed. We had 29 players for this regional, which was a pretty good number. One less than the Michigan regional that I went to. So Thrones is not dead yet, guys. Thrones is not dead. So we got left and right out now for the Tyrell player, plus Old Town. And an Isle of Ravens that was used there to get Hightower shuffled back into the deck, I'm sure. And now it's the Stark player for his challenges. Intrigue, stealthing the right there, I believe, is the one that gets the Intrigue icon. So that goes unopposed, gets the power for that. And let's see what he hits here on the Intrigue claim. But now Michael's the Tyrell player saying, hold on a sec. He's got 3 gold, probably has an ambush character in hand. Could have came in to block it, but he did say no defenders. It's a regional. I wouldn't fault Francis to say, screw you, pal. But yeah, he is going to do it, so. We got some takesies backsies here in the first round. It is a Hightower spy jumping in here. It's going to trigger on herself, spending the 3 gold. So Michael's asking if it's okay. Francis, nice guy. We're in Canada here. You got to expect some little bit of takes back, some nice play. People being friendly. So I think you got a 2-cost card there flipped off the top. We can't see, but it sounded like you said +2. So a 4 strength defending against 2 should fully defend. And after declaring defenders, he's going to trigger Old Town to name whatever it was there and draw it and gain a power. So we went from giving his opponent unopposed power and losing a card to winning the challenge and drawing a card and gaining a power. And it sounds like that's going to be it for the Stark player. He passes over to the Tyrell player, since if he did a military with Summer, it would just go nowhere with left and right blocking it for 6 without kneeling. So military to start here. Summer will block 3-3. Claim is going to be Winterfell Steward, of course. He's going to do an intrigue here with the other character. With right. Yeah, it's going to do an intrigue. 3 strength. Stands up Arya, and he's got some important cards in hand because he blocks with Arya and Septim Ordain for 6. Or no, 5, I believe. But either way, fully defended. And we got a Taxation Discard, which is a Daisy Mormont on the Stark side. So as I was saying before, we got lots more games coming up from this series from the Montreal, Quebec regional, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you are subscribed, you can hit that little alarm bell icon button, whatever it is, beside the subscribe button. Normally YouTube will just notify you randomly when videos go up or we go live, but if you want to be notified every time a video goes up or we go live, because I do post videos, sometimes at random times, depending on when I get them done. But yeah, you can get notified automatically by hitting that little alarm bell button. And if you like seeing Thrones LCG games on the channel, Living Card Games, you can hit the like button there. Helps let me know you like them, helps other people find them on the channel, and helps the channel grow, that's for sure. So much appreciated to all of you who are slapping that like button. You're awesome. All right, forced march into another Time of Plenty from the Tyrell player. So we're going to have a military character knelt at least. So forced march.
Character with the military. I choose, right? One of yours, yeah.
So he's going to have to kneel left or right here, and then we can see Summer possibly knelt to do it again, which we will. So left and right are taken care of here for a round. And they go to draw 3 again, thanks to Time of Plenty. And a dupe there on the left. A Rose Garden for a limited. Looks like the Tyrell player is obviously going first this time. Chosen by the Stark player, winning initiative. 9-1. Also want to say thanks to all the players who played on camera. It was interesting this regional. We tried something different. Due to space constraints, I had to kind of set the cameras up on a single table. And sometimes I work with the TO, and we try to swap the table numbers under the camera. Like, you know, we'll randomly film different tables, try to work out different matchups and stuff. But this time, I decided to just do table 1 and 2. Made it easier while I was playing, and TO was kind of busy, so and the store was kind of rammed. And we had a little issue starting like 45 to an hour late for the tournament. So I didn't want to delay it any further. So we left it at table 1 and 2. So you're going to see some of the same players throughout the Swiss here and into the cut because you're going to see the top 2 tables of the tournament. So hopefully it will be some high caliber games here at this regional. And we got Willis Tyrell jumping on the board there. Not a card you see too often, but he does have that nice Lord trait working with Large Marge, so you can kill him and bring back somebody who's quote-unquote more important to your winning strategy here as a Tyrell player. But yeah, so we should have good matches on the camera, but will be a lot of the same players. So I just want to say thanks to all the players who played on camera Not a single person had an issue with it all day. Everyone just wanted to do it. It was all good. So thank you to everyone, except for Sean Emberley, who was complaining about his performance in some games or something. I don't really listen to him, so we'll see those games later, and we can all point fingers at him and bug him for his mistakes. Just Sean, though. Don't make fun of any other player. Just Sean. Just kidding, Sean. Thanks for playing on camera. So Crown of Golden Roses there on Willis. So he's going to be able to chuck cards and give him a +2 strength buff twice per, I believe, phase or round, whatever it is. But twice, so you can give him a +4 strength by chucking a couple cards if he wants at some point. But at least he has a king on the board, is the whole idea of that. So a King of the North plot flip will not screw the Tyrell player is the plan, I'm sure. It's the more important use of the Crown of Golden Roses. Also a good way to seed Flea Bottom. So we got Fast Eddie on the board. Where has he been? Stark is back out in full force, but Fast Eddie's not always in those Stark decks lately. But there he is. And it looks like we have a duped Flea Bottom. Looks like he's put on, is it a lady? I think it's a lady out there now. So all of his gold spend didn't save any for Flea Bottom. I don't think he's got any targets in there right now. So over to the Tyrell player for challenges. Looks like he's sitting on 4 gold. Stark player sitting on no gold. While we're waiting for Michael to choose his first action here in the challenges phase, I just want to say thanks to Julian, the TO, running this tournament there at BD Cosmos in Montreal, running a great event. It was awesome seeing all the familiar faces from when I traveled to Montreal. We didn't go to the regional there last year, just conflicted with other regionals that were on back-to-back weekends when FFG did those 2-day regionals. So we decided to go to the other regionals that were 2 days, because the Montreal one was not last year. So it's good to see some familiar faces. I mean, I see a lot of these guys at Canadian Nationals every year. They make the trek down, the 5 to 6 hour drive down, 7-hour drive depending on traffic. So it's nice to see them. I usually go up there every year for the regional. So ever since we started playing way back in first edition. So an intrigue for 5 to start here with Willis and the Hightower Spy. No defenders, so on opposed power for the Tyrell player. Let's see who he hits on the intrigue claim or what he hits. And it's a copy of Rob Stark. Ouch. And that's going to be it for the Tyrell player since he's got nothing else standing there. So we got an intrigue here with Arya. Or maybe not. No, it's going to be an intrigue. He realizes he has more icons on Arya. So he's going to use the monocon. Just attack for 3 here. With Septa Mordain. We got 4 gold sitting there. I'm sure he's debating an ambush play again like last round. Is it worth it? Could do another Hightower Spy. No, this time it is a Old Town Informer, so he's going to be able to block for 2 possibly. Does he bestow it here to cycle some cards? He needs to find that Hightower, I'm sure. Or Mace, or Marjorie. Or any big renowned body, which I'm pretty sure is like half the cards in his deck.
You have no goal, right?
That was what was keeping me around, I think.
They're growing strong.
So he's going to do it growing strong to make it 4. And he's going to block. He's got some juicy cards in hand, I guess, that he wants to protect.
I thought it was his third. My bad. Do it.
So successfully defended intrigue challenge there by the Tyrell player.
No, military.
So military with Arya, stealthing left or right there. No, it's a it can't be military. She doesn't have a dupe, is what he just said there. So it's gonna be power.
So unopposed, right? Yep.
So that goes unopposed. Gets a couple power off that one. And now the military with fast Eddie. And that goes unopposed. He's gonna claim it and renown here. I assume he just takes the dupe off left there. But I mean, he could kill the Old Town Former. He didn't bestow it, so it's kind of useless right now. Yeah, the copy of left is taken there for claim. And a renown on Eddie.
Yep. So I get dom.
And over to dominance, which Tyrell player will win, having a gold left there in the middle of the board.
Let's see. Standing action, I'll shuffle left back in. Okay.
So in the standing phase, he's going to trigger Isle of Ravens to shuffle left back in. Which is interesting. Not sure why he would do that. I mean, maybe he plays 3 copies of each and his game plan is to have left and right completely duped up, but I think he's probably wanting to draw other cards besides a dupe of left there. Unless he has his High Tower and Mace already in hand, but...
I was thinking you were going to do that second turn, and I could say whether it's okay with it or not. Because I was going to do that second turn as well. You're going to have white on the board.
Or Ed might want to save that Isle of Ravens for making sure that flea bottom across the board doesn't get going. Shuffle back in any kind of 3 cost or less characters that drop into the discard pile there. So we got breaking ties into pulling the strings. So I assume Forest March.
It's the only one I can choose.
Yeah, Forest March is what's going to be used here for pulling the strings. Stark player deciding who's going first. He chooses the Tyrell player. And we got the Forest March going off here, which right will be knelt so that Eddie also gets knelt. So is Michael going to see anyone notable here, like a 6 cost or higher? Is this going to be the turn for it? He's got 7 gold. He's going to do Old Town here. Yeah, he's naming character. He's looking for somebody, I'm sure.
I don't think so.
And that's why I don't understand why he shuffled that dupe back in the deck. I think that's the least card you want to see right now. But he does get a power and draw, is it? Whatever it was. There's High Tower. Alright, he's not worried about a big character right now. He just wants to get a High Tower on the board for this round. Does he have a character he can play to... Oh, he's going to put a Great Hall out. He's got a... Does he have enough to get a bigger character out? I mean, he can just play a Tyrell character and Draw a card and get a gold, which he's going to do the Scheming Septon for 2. And should trigger the high tower here, unless he already did, but I don't think he did yet.
My marshalling? Hold on.
Looks like he's debating not triggering it here. I say go for it. Get an extra gold, get a card.
When I think Scheming Septon might trigger this.
Yeah. Oh, or he almost forgot to trigger it there, I think. I think he was debating marshalling something else. So he does trigger the high tower there. Now he's got another option in hand to choose from and 2 gold, and still has a great haul standing. So could bet about a 3 or 4 cost unique character. Next regional coming up on the channel after this series will be the August 25th Rochester, New York regionals at Millennium Games. So make sure you put that in your calendar and attend if you're anywhere that is reasonable driving distance. I should be there. Pretty good chance. I go down there even for Sort Champs. It's only like 2.5, 3 hours away, so that's not bad. Hopefully a whole bunch of us from the Hamilton/Toronto area will go down. So yeah, you should come and come play the regional and be on camera. So Fat Cat is now on the board. The 7-cost Catelyn Stark.
Back to your hand.
So Breaking Ties will send a left back to hand after he comes in on a challenge, which triggers Catelyn Stark, who will get a...
Limit per round.
Oh, he's using the ear token to mark how many times he's triggered it this turn. But she does get a power, which I think she gets +1 strength off each power she has. Sure, Francis wish she had Wayman Manderley on the board. This is obviously a deck that he would slot into very nicely. I'm sure he's playing 3 copies. Him and Catelyn Stark work very well together. So the Stark player is at 5 power, and the Tyrell player is sitting at 3. I think we're in round 3 now. Still a tight game. Could go either way. It's very weird the Tyrell player hasn't seen any big renowned dudes. Hasn't seen Mace yet. Just got Hightower online. But only real power gain he's had is off of Old Town. So he definitely needs to see his other pieces before the Stark player can close it out here. But with Catelyn Stark on the board, that'll speed up the Stark player trying to get to 15 power. So he doesn't want another challenge to fizzle, so I think he's going to attack with 2 characters here on the Intrigue challenge. I don't think you should put the Scheming Septon in there because it'll get sent back to hand. He wants to trigger that later. Well, he's actually going to throw all 3 of his little weenies in there. Scheming Septon, Hightower Spy, and Old Town Informer. 6 strength Intrigue challenge. Francis could block here with Catelyn. She's a 6 strength, but he'd need to also put in Septum Ordain. He's just going to block the unopposed, though, with a 3 strength defense here. And grabs a Milk of the Poppy on the Intrigue claim. So I don't know if he's saving a second sack off of Breaking Ties for maybe trying to hit Willis. Get that attachment out of play. Maybe flip it King the North next turn. But I mean, he'll still have a 1-cost King attachment in hand. The Tyrell player will, so he'll easily be able to just marshal that out and negate King in the North. But maybe he can send it back to hand, then do an Intrigue challenge, maybe get lucky and hit it. But also sending Willis back to hand does send a higher cost character back to hand, which is great at hitting your opponent's economy. And we do have Willis coming in here on a power challenge.
6.
Power in opposed.
Yeah.
So no defenders on the power challenge. So Tyrell player will steal one and get unopposed, putting him at 5 power. 4 power now on the Stark side.
Anything else before my challenges?
Okay, I'm done.
Intrigue stealth.
So an intrigue stealth with Arya. Stealthing Willis Tyrell.
Yeah, he's got renown, and he gets a basically +1 strength after.
2 gold still saved on the Tyrell side. He could ambush someone in again.
I use the Scheming Acceptance ability.
He's also going to do the Scheming Acceptance first. That'll get him 2 more gold and a card. So now he can ambush in any of his ambush characters. Old Town's already knelt, so we can't do the scheming thing yet, but or the Scheming Acceptance name a character business yet, but I'm sure he'll do it in standing phase or at least before drawing next turn. No defenders. We didn't get another ambush character. And a Milk of the Poppy grabbed on the other side there for intrigue claim.
Hoping to keep that.
Flea bottom.
So we get Flea Bottom spent here.
Summer. Reaction.
Put Summer back into play. Just going to trigger the reaction. Put Daisy back to hand. Since 3 strength or less, or 2 strength or less, whatever Summer's ability is there. And Daisy's an X strength, so that definitely works on her. So unopposed military challenge.
That's
Oh, yeah.
So Hightower Spy go in the dead pile.
I'll do a power.
That's also unopposed.
And a power with Catelyn Stark.
I have an action before
And we should have Breaking Ties sacking Summer here.
I'll sacrifice to bring him to hand.
Sending back right there, back to hand. Which should trigger Catelyn Stark. Yep, gives her another power.
That's it for me.
Yo, what's up, Mono?
So Stark player has shot up to 9 power here, just like that.
Down to you.
And the Tyrell player's board's kind of whittled down here. Dominance goes to the Tyrell player, though. Putting him back at 5.
I have a standing action.
So in the standing phase, we are going to get Old Town here.
I will wait until taxation to do this. I don't do it yet. I don't do it yet.
Oh, yeah, he's going to wait till taxation. Makes sense. Wants to get the gold and keep it for next round.
Let's see.
Or not gold. No, no, no. Why does he want to wait? Oh, I see. Taxation, yeah, he has more cards in hand. Doesn't want to chuck extra cards for no reason. So after he gets rid of a dupe of the Red Wind Straits for taxation, now he should be triggering Old Town.
I'll use Isle Raven to shuffle Summer back into your deck.
So Isle Ravens, there's the first action, shuffling Summer back in the deck. Makes sense. He wants to break that little combo up that we just saw shoot off there with Flea Bottom, Catelyn Stark sacking, all that business. But I guess he needs a Wyman out there to really get the sack going again. Or a Jon Snow or something with some on-demand sack a character.
So now we're in taxation. I'm within reserve. Now I use it.
So now in taxation, he's going to do character, finds a Scheming Septon. Whoa, surprise. gets a power and draws the card, of course. We got Valar Morghulis flipped on the Tyrell side and Counting Coppers on the Stark side. So Stark player's going to have Catelyn and Eddard die here, along with the rest of the board. That's going to hurt. Stark character looks like he's sitting on 3 or 4 cards in hand. Tyrell player's was capped last turn, so he's got at least 6 cards, I think, in hand. Maybe 7 now after that Scheming Septon drawn.
I'll go first.
So yeah, boards are completely wiped. Crown of Gold and Roses goes back to hand.
Actually,
Oh yeah, Septim Ordain making Arya Stark immune to the plot, immune to opponent's plot effects or something like that. So she is kept in play. That's pretty huge.
Yeah, because there's been like several repairs for
But the Stark players, they're actually tie game now at 6 power after that.
I said I was first. You're first? Yeah.
I'm sure the Stark player didn't think the Tyrell player was playing Valar Morghulis. I don't know how many Tyrell Wars decks are playing that plot. Or a reset in general. That's not something you usually see. So nice call here on Michael for the plot choice there. And those characters that were sent back to hand last round of Breaking Ties are really going to help now with him trying to build the board back up, I'm sure. So Francis played right into that.
You know that, right?
Yeah. That's actually a really good summer target. Like a big character.
Problem is here, the Stark side, he's only got 3 gold to work with, and the Great Hall. Which makes Daisy out of...
Duplicate? No way. Nope. Bodyguard doesn't count as a duplicate, right?
Shuffle if the cards are in.
Oh, Daisy is 4 strength, actually, yeah? Or 4 cost, so she is able to come into play. My bad. I thought she was a 5.
3 gold, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
1.
So all the gold spent on the Stark side. Now let's see what the Tyrell player can do. With 4 gold to start here. Dupe on Hightower, so after shuffling back in with Isle of Ravens, he's got in the back and duped on the board. Only took about 4 rounds, but... I'm sure that nothing burns on the first turn definitely slowed the Tyrell player down, of course. Having to find that location again and get it back out on the board for 4 gold. But now that it's online, he's able to get some extra gold and card draw. Definitely going to help him in the long game. So left, right, Scheming Septim, all marshaled out here. No trigger on the Hightower, though. I think he should have done that first after the first character's played just to see options. He does trigger it here, though. Yeah, Michael, he almost forgot. He just said so. I thought so. He's excited here. Not playing it in the optimal order, but I'm sure he's going to notice after he watches this game and make some notes for the next tournament. It's one advantage of being on film is, or on the camera, under the camera being recorded, is you can watch your games back and see the suboptimal plays you make or mistakes or whatever. And sometimes the community is pretty nice about constructive criticism and will leave comments below. So you're more than welcome to do that to help us all get better. We can all learn. None of us is perfect and we all make mistakes.
What would I do? Do free ball?
No.
No.
Clouds of punishment. Are you defending? I don't want to go to time.
I don't defend it.
Okay, so unopposed?
Yeah.
Unopposed.
So Francis, Stark player, trying to speed it up here. Realizes the game's going a little long. They're running low on time.
If there's only 1 copy?
Should probably be at least 15 to 20 minutes left in the round, but just trying to speed up Michael, who's taking some time making decisions here, obviously.
Oh, no clear. Right. Intrigue. Power.
So 3 challenges unopposed coming back from the Tyrell player here after the Stark player did his challenge, which went unopposed, I believe. Maybe not. It should have been defended by left or right. So lots of power gained by the Tyrell player there.
Let's see. I am not within reserve.
I think Tyrell player is at 9 power now. Stark player is also at 9. So I believe we have a tie game here again.
Let's see. What's in your discard? Not much. Useful. I'll wait. Okay, so block.
So we got a close call on the Stark side, and a Wardens of the South. Catelyn Stark moved to the discard pile, and an extra card drawn there by the Stark players. Maybe you got another copy of Catelyn in hand. We're hoping to see another one. Stark player going first. Marshals out a Hearttree Grove. Has 6 gold to work with, plus his Great Hall and now Hearttree Grove. So Hearttree Grove and Great Hall knelt here. Does he have a 7-cost bomb? Did he get Catelyn? But does he have anything else to play with her? He's got no flea bottom targets in there. Looks like he also has a 6 gold in hand that he could play. Maybe. Or maybe it's a 5-cost unique. But he's sorting his gold out there, trying to guess what he's gonna play. It looks like it is a copy of Catelyn he's debating there. Yep, he does put her into play. He's got a bodyguard in hand he can put out there. Oh, Bran Stark. And over to the Tyrell player for his marshalling. There's a renowned body, Standy Randy. On a Wardens of the South turn is pretty huge, since you're going to be able to trigger the strength buff off the plot and stand him right back up. This could be trouble. Got the left and right wall there, blocking on the defense. I mean, Arya can help you to challenge through with her stealth. Catelyn can get buffed up as long as you're sacking somebody. And there's a Crown of Golden Roses on Randall. Another way to buff his strength and give him extra stand. And we got a 1-cost Garden Caretaker on the board now. Who I'm sure is just out there for military claim if needed. And saving 2 gold for the Tyrell player over the Stark player for his challenges. So Francis, the Stark player here, has got to figure out what can he do. Can he get any challenges through here? Has no on-demand sack for Catelyn at this point. Other than Bran Stark, if an event's played, you can sack him. There's no gold for Flea Bottom, so you can't bring Bran right back out. And the Isle of Ravens is still standing on the other side to shuffle Bran back into the deck if he hits that discard pile. If he does a military challenge with Daisy, it can just be blocked by left and right. Arya only has a power icon, since she has no duplicate and no Septim Ordain out in play, giving her an intrigue. I don't know if he can get a power through. I think he may just have to pass challenges here and play defensively. Maybe try to poke something through, but I mean... yeah, it's just left and right. And then you got Randall getting power on the defense with Renown. Standing back up if he wants. All the characters getting a +2. Yeah, he's going to pass challenges there, but all the characters do get that plus bump off the plot as long as the Tyrell player remembers to trigger it. So we got a military challenge to start here with Randall. It's going to trigger the plot. And make him 7, but not stand him. I don't know why he didn't stand him there after that. I guess you can just do it with the Crown of Golden Roses. So military claim will be the, who was it there? I didn't see who he killed. I forget who it was, but Catelyn gets a trigger off that, getting a power. Oh, it was Daisy. Daisy Mormont was killed. That's who it was. Yeah, he did forget the Randall Tarley, so he's got to chuck a card to stand him. Third copy of Hightower there, wow.
So now it's at 7 strength.
So Tarley is a 7 and standing now. I'm sure Michael's counting up his opponent's power strength here to see if he needs to put anyone else in the challenge with Randall. She does put the Scheming Septon, it looks like, is going to go in here with him. But I mean, he'll get the bump again off the plot on both characters, so.
+3 at 10. +4, 14 power.
So 14 strength power challenge, triggering the plot here on left and Randall. Should be standing Randall again. It can trigger him twice, but he doesn't. You remembered. So Bran Stark blocks for the unopposed, or blocks the unopposed. So claim and Renown. Tyrell players, I can't tell by the pile of power, but guessing he's at 12? 3 power away, most likely. Stark player is at, looks like 8.
Je sais exactement quel liste que je joue.
Intrigue.
It's going to do an intrigue with the Scheming Septon. It's just going to do a 2 intrigue, not trigger the plot. Catelyn will block. It's going to do this. It's going to do the Scheming Septon, put him on the top of the deck, get 2 gold, draw a card. It's going to do Old Town and name character, get the Scheming Septon back, get a power.
And that's all my challenges. So we go to dock. I win dock.
Dominance goes the Tyrell player. I think he's one away now. So looks like they're going to go to the next round.
Dom action.
So Isle of Ravens triggered here in Dominance. Let's put a Milk of the Poppy back in the deck. Just trying to get something to deal with Catelyn there. Or maybe Arya's Stealth.
Now standing. I'm within reserve.
So Stark player's got 2 cards to chuck there for reserve. Copy of Winterfell and something else there. So we got a Time for Wolves flipped on the Stark side and a King in the North flipped on the Tyrell side. So Summer is brought into play, but can't be triggered because there's no King on the Stark side.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
That is too bad.
Wait. I guess I'll go first.
So Tyrell player 1 initiative there. He's going to choose to go first.
So I have a king.
So unless the Stark player can find a way to deal with Randall here. Or Mace. Oh, man. Mace trigger off of High Tower, I'm sure. Oh, he wins there. Yeah, he just wins from Mace coming into play. And it's over. All right, thanks, guys, for playing on camera. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Like I said, leave comments below. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. And we got more videos coming up here from this Montreal series, so stay tuned for that. And after that, like I said, Rochester, New York, regional, August 25th. Should have some videos from that, too. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.